Hello, everyone. Welcome to Adventures in Good Health, a weekly podcast where we explore natural approaches to good life. And in that, I'm talking about good health. I am your host and aspiring herb geek, David Maloof. Herbal medicine has, to some people, a bit of a perception problem. The way herbal medicine is portrayed in the media or pop culture as something done in the backwoods somewhere, or it's something mystical, certainly not scientific, is a problem for the herbal community. Are you okay if we talk to someone who crashes that perception? We're going to have a conversation with an herbalist with a scientific background, a career in the medical field, but someone who uses their background in science and research to help push integrative medicine forward. I predict this is going to be an interesting conversation. This podcast is sponsored by Dr. Tate's Herbal Tinctures and Tonics. And while we will mention the tonics if they are relevant to the conversation, this podcast is not an infomercial. We are discussing a wide range of topics, but I wanted you to know who is sponsoring the show. Let's get started. Today, I am joined by clinical aromatherapist, herbalist, nurse practitioner, and the owner of Two Wolves Herbal Apothecary, Dr. Kim Adams. Hello, Dr. Adams. Thank you for joining us today.
You're very welcome. I'm happy to be here.
I'm curious about your journey in terms of how the path that you've taken that's brought you to where you are at this point. What can you share about your journey with us?
Well, originally I was trained, actually initially in dietetics and nutrition, and went back to nursing school.
Okay.
I did nursing. I became a nurse practitioner. Probably 5 years later, I had done ECMO and transport.
Wow.
And for most of my years, did high-level neonatal and pediatric intensive care. I had always been interested in herbalism and alternative health because of my mother. She had often used home remedies when I was a kid. So I decided to go back and get my doctorate in integrative health. At the time, there were only 2 schools in the nation that would offer doctorate in nursing practice in integrative health. So I applied to University of Minnesota and wound up doing a full immersion. I went 4 years and I studied Ayurvedic medicine. I went on a retreat in Hawaii and studied shamanism. And we studied global studies. And, of course, I did my dissertation in essential oil.
Wow.
And had a small holistic practice and started making products. My graduate project was actually with the University of Minnesota, making and formulating products at that point. I was
Doctor, you mentioned a little earlier, you used the term integrative medicine. For our audience, what does that mean?
Integrative medicine is an actual blending of traditional medicine or allopathic medicine and holistic medicine. More of the Chinese, Japanese, Ayurvedic, very ancient and aged types of medicine. It is a blend of the two, which actually complements very well with my education.
Wonderful. I think our audience appreciates that explanation.
And so when I finished graduate school, I had moved to the mountains to a small cabin. And there's a huge population that does herbal care there and remedies. And so I dabbled a little bit in it, but then I had a huge very traumatic event, and my daughter was killed in an accident.
Oh, my goodness.
And while I was, grieving, I was still working as a practitioner in a level 4 intensive care.
Yeah.
And I had moved my other daughter in with me because they were best friends. And she was grieving. And literally, I had brain fog, and I was very concerned about my patients.
Understood.
And if you're a good practitioner or medical person, you never, ever want your patients to be impacted by your own issues. You leave those at the door. Mm-hmm. So I was forced to reinvent myself. I walked away from traditional medicine and opened up a small retail store in Dahlonega, Georgia. And the very first products I ever made for retail sale were a tattoo oil and balm from essential oils. And I got into cannabis and formulating hemp products just because the research was so good. And every morning, I'm a researcher. I think that's a large part of the business. I look at whatever products that I think will work, and I back them with research. And so that's where it all began. My daughter asked for a retail area, and I ordered CBD products that I rapidly realized I could not sell because they were not what they were touted to be.
Okay, I can understand that would be a problem.
That's when I talked to a farmer who was a friend of mine, and she said, "Kim, you have every ability to formulate your own products. Why are you not doing this?" And so that started the path that we're now on.
Wow.
At that point, really, honestly, I did not realize the demand. It was the year before the pandemic. And we opened another store, second store, and it was larger. And so I decided to put herbs and teas on the shelf. And I did it to fill shelf space. I really didn't think there would be a huge demand. Mm-hmm. And we started custom blending teas for people that had certain problems like gout or cystitis, or that came in with pain issues and that could not use CBD products.
Right.
And that's really where it all began. And it was, and still is, a word of mouth business. We really don't advertise. We just use word of mouth of our customers.
Wow. That is quite a journey. So that is bringing us to the Two Wolves Tea Room. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes. That is a blend, honest to goodness. That is a blend of the nutrition principles and the wellness principles that were created in the very beginning with a dietetics and nutrition degree. Mm-hmm. I firmly believe that honestly, true health and wellness and achieving balance can be done through food and through herbal products.
Absolutely.
And so we opened the tea room to show people that you could use gluten-free products. Mm-hmm. You can use alternative sources. We do smoothies and that type of thing, as well as sort of your mom's old recipes and comfort food.
Right.
So we provide sort of a range to let people know, and we invite them in to take their time and to truly experience sitting down and having a meal and providing that socialization and the type of atmosphere where they feel at home.
So full disclosure is that I was at Two Wolves Tea Room for a reason, along with a number of other people, for a reason that had nothing to do with the podcast. And, if you try to imagine, well, what would an apothecary uh, in North Georgia look like? Um, this wouldn't necessarily be it. So the first thing that I notice is you walk into the tea room, and it's a very comforting uh, location. And you mentioned the socialization. I can certainly see people coming in, walking into your tea room, and just feeling very comforted, welcomed, to enjoy the social atmosphere. And then connected directly to the tea room, then you walk into the retail location, uh, which was I just thought it was just a beautiful location that has your products. And then, Dr. Adams, you invited me to uh, take a tour of your apothecary, which, yes, I definitely wanted to go see it, and it was a very sophisticated operation. It was I was impressed.
It was, it's been an evolution. And of course, I have a lot of gratitude for the fact that it's been a rather rapid evolution. So sometimes you feel like you're on a roller coaster, right?
Absolutely.
But we know that we need to have, a CGMP type of facility. And we knew we grew, every store had an herbal kitchen in it. And honest to goodness, Department of Ag really didn't know what to do with us. I'm a part of Georgia Grown and the local community of farmers, and we use local whenever we can. And I knew that we were going to need a larger area to make products in because we just couldn't make them fast enough. And so that evolution, I'm actually pretty proud of because my employees are like fabulous people, and they all dug in, and we're pretty much women owned and run, and they dug in, and where there were no manufacturing processes, we created them.
Wow.
So the firesiders, the infused honeys, the teas, therapeutic teas that we use, all now come from that space. And it's still an evolution.
Right. Well, it's an impressive space, and that's me coming from a manufacturing background. Also, what I thought was interesting is the glass windows. I mean, it's not like it's in the back of some dark room somewhere. I mean, people can just from the outside just watch the process.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not sure if you have much of an audience, but you're in a good size town in a retail complex, and for if anyone is interested, I mean, so the location I saw is in Helen, Georgia, and if anyone has not been to Helen, Georgia, it's an experience. If try to imagine the sound of music with an alpine town in Georgia, and just try to imagine that as an experience in the Georgia mountains. But I appreciated the tour. You mentioned that some of your customers are coming in for various reasons. I think you mentioned gout and some other things. So, tell me about teas, because that is the mixing or the custom mixing of teas is something that so far we really haven't touched on this podcast at this point. What do teas do?
Well, we use teas, or what they call tisanes, which are strictly herbals without a tea in it. There are three types of teas: white, green, and black. And you can utilize those along with herbs to create wellness. And different herbs will react as different things. For example, dandelion and mistletoe are fabulous for the liver and for the kidneys. But if I create a tea blend, they act almost as a diuretic. Then you also want other products in there to support balancing that organ.
Right.
Say, do I need something like marshmallow root, which helps with the mucous membranes? So when you create a blend, you are not, you have to put thought into what is the function of the organ, which is, of course, as a practitioner background, that's easy for me. And then, of course, you have to think about what are the energetics of that organ, because really when you look at it from a holistic perspective, you're looking at whatever the dysfunction is from a spiritual, mental, and then physical standpoint. So you want herbs to work in all facets.
I bet.
And so you may use a cooling herb or a drying herb or a warming herb, depending on the person and what their body type is. Or you can create a generic blend like a Breathe Easy. We have a Breathe Easy tea that's wonderful for people that have respiratory difficulty. And probably that's one of our top sellers. And that tea is blended with like mullein leaf and mullein flower when we can get it, and elderflower. And elderflower dries the mucous membranes while mullein opens the lungs and helps to repair the lungs. So each blend is created for a specific purpose. And then we utilize the research to confirm that that actual herb will do what the therapeutics of it are supposed to do.
So your background is obviously very scientific background in terms of your nursing, your discipline that you've developed at research is obviously coming to play when it comes to investigating various herbs and what they can do and what people need to know about them. I'm curious. I mean, do you research out of like medical journals?
I do.
You research. You do. Okay.
I do.
Just to share with our audience a little bit about some of the resources that you use to help educate yourself in the world of herbalism.
Well, there's ethnobotany and ethnopharmacopoeia, like journals. So also National Institute of Health has an alternative arm. And National Institute of Health is just a national database, about like Cochrane is a national database,
right? Or
PubMed,
right?
Where they have the entire collection archived there. So if I decide to look up, the benefits of mullein or glandular root and cancer, and look at those study designs, a really good study will tell you exactly what the product is, how it was obtained, what the dilution of it is. Is it a tincture? We do a lot of tinctures. Is it a tea? What were the results over what length of time? All of those things are very important because herbs do not work like drugs. They are not a fast sort of Band-Aid, I guess, to work on a symptom. They are designed to heal an organ. That's different. Those are two different things.
Absolutely.
And so you have to look at the timing because that's critical. And you have to let people know these things are slower, but the good thing about it is they have very few contraindications. So which means they're not going to damage your liver. They're not going to damage your kidneys. We don't put anything on our shelves that would have to have severe cautions with those. Those you should have a clinical herbalist and be followed with somebody. But I will tell you too that with supplement use, you really should be followed, or at least ask the question of, are these right for me and how do I figure that out? We are developing an arm of Two Wolves called Proactive Health that is going to do that. But
Wow.
at
Okay.
this moment, all of our people, when you come in our stores, have herbal certifications, and they are displayed. We pay for
Okay.
their education because I firmly believe that we have a responsibility to help the person that comes into us as best we can.
If someone comes into your store and they're interested in some herbs, but if they're already on medications, uh, do you normally recommend that they at least inform their doctor
Oh,
that they're
absolutely.
considering?
Absolutely.
So
We
okay.
really do not, as a practitioner, I feel very strongly that your primary physician or your oncologist, whoever it may be, is walking that walk with you, needs to be fully disclosed to. We do have
Great.
cancer patients. We do have Parkinson's patients because of the hemp piece, and it works in synergy with those kinds of things and with seizures. And I advocate before we ever work with someone that they notify their physician, they make them aware of it, and they get their blessing, really, because, as a responsible practitioner, you never ever want to work with somebody who is not working in synergy with the rest of the medical team. And that was always the way it was in my previous career. And I just don't think I can change that part of me. I think that all medicine, no matter whether it's peppermint or whether you're taking some sort of sublingual nitro, I think that they are all meant to be fully disclosed and work together for your benefit.
Dr. Adams, what is the best way that someone can reach you or one of your locations?
I have 3 locations, one in Helen, one in Cleveland, and one in Augusta. We do have a business phone number. We are on Google. We do have an internet site, which is 2 Wolves, the number 2 Wolves and INC Inc. .com. We also, the phone number, the generic phone number for the stores, for the Augusta store is 706 969 1651. And they can be directed from there to the Helen store or to the Cleveland store. And all of my employees can reach me directly if they have questions. And of course, I have my own clients. We do health consultations and bioenergetic testing. So that is a large part of my day.
Fantastic. And for the audience, just so you know, all of Dr. Adams' contact information will be available in both the transcript of this podcast as well as the information that is located at the or in the podcast service or on YouTube. So if you're driving, you don't have to stop what you're doing. We don't want you doing that and writing all this information down. It's easily accessible with the podcast information. Dr. Adams, thank you very much for a very informative chat regarding herbalism and I would say also how you turned tragedy, a very rough situation in your life, but you've turned that into something that helps people. And I will just say thank you for doing that.
Well, you're very welcome. I think I really did it more for my children to provide a legacy, hopefully, of a better healthcare system.
Well, I think we all appreciate that. Dr. Adams, thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate being here today.
And now, a quick word about our sponsor, Dr. Tate's Herbal Tinctures and Tonics. Dr. Tate's all-natural herbal formulas, which are the true definition of herbal tonics, have been available for over 20 years. These specially formulated herbal tonics are designed to help cleanse, heal, rebuild, and revitalize your body, which will help improve your overall health. Dr. Tate's offers the Herbal Blood Tonic, Dox Detox, Herbal Fat Burner, Herbal Female Tonic, and Herbal Male Tonic. If you would like to learn more about the tonics and where to pick up your bottle, call 404-459-8696 or visit drtates.online. That's drtates.online. All links and contact information is available in the podcast and YouTube descriptions. That does it for this episode of Adventures in Good Health. We would like to hear from you regarding this podcast and any suggestions you have for future podcasts. You can reach us at Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Please subscribe and leave a rating or a review. Until next week, this is David Maloof exploring natural approaches to good health.